Hi everybody, Mike Beer here with Thursday's DRF Race of the Day. We're going down to the Big A, race number 7 at Aqueduct, an allowance optional claiming event for older horses. They're going to go a one-turn mile on the main track. Let's take a look at this field of 8. A couple of horses who feel like they're going to be the shorter prices on the morning line. The number 3, Americanus. The number 7, 3 Technique. A couple of 3-year-olds who just ran against each other at Belmont Park in a similar kind of race on October 23rd. They both ran very well that day to finish 2nd and 3rd behind a nice Todd Pletcher trained 3-year-old named Money Moves. They're coming back in this spot. It doesn't feel like quite as tough a race as that last one was, and it feels like, if either one of these two horses not only show up with the kind of race that they ran last time or even take a step forward, which is certainly possible, this field could be in a little bit of trouble. I don't think this is nearly as tough a spot as that last one was. As far as alternatives to these horses go, I didn't think they were necessarily that easy to come by. But let's start off by taking a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector, because that could give you an idea of a horse that you want to take a shot with. You can see Timeform US expects number 2, High Velocity, to be out there on a clear lead at the pace call, and that could certainly give this horse his best chance to win. High Velocity, not only is he going to stretch back out here to a one-turn mile after sprinting last time, but he's third off the layoff for trainer Kelly Breen, and the blinkers are going to go back on. This horse began his career in Southern California with trainer Bob Baffert as a 2-year-old, and he won the first 2 starts of his career, including the Grade 3 Bob Hope, with blinkers on. The blinkers came off after that. He placed in a couple of graded stakes races going longer. Then he missed a lot of time before he returned in September over at Monmouth Park for Kelly Breen. He didn't run that well off the layoff. Maybe you want to give him a pass for that one. And then he cut him back at Belmont Park for his most recent start. Listen, he didn't run, that well in there, but it wasn't a total disaster. He couldn't make the lead. The race that he was in there came back very fast with Last Judgment, the winner, earning a 98 Beyer speed figure. This horse was never really involved. He wound up finishing a non-threatening 5th, but he's going to stretch back out here. He's got some speed to make the early lead, and he's going to put the blinkers back on. Irad Ortiz keeps them out. There are things to like about this horse. I can't say I'm his biggest fan, but he certainly has some upside. And there is a chance that this horse just takes a step forward here and makes himself really tough, especially if he gets loose on the lead. Americanus does have tactical speed. He's sitting 2nd on the pace projector. 3 Technique, who will probably go favored in here. He has enough tactical speed to not be, terribly compromised by any way that this race is run, whether it be fast or slow. Even Little Commissioner, the horse down on the rail, he's got a little bit of tactical speed. Little Commissioner is certainly a horse that I think you want to at least take a look at in here if you're looking for alternatives to the 2 favorites, because if nothing else, this horse has shown that, racing on dirt has not been a bad thing for him. He got rained off last November at Gulfstream West while he was racing for Jorge Navarro. He won that day with an 84 Beyer speed figure. He's won 3 times on dirt since then. Trainer Rob Atras took over and got this horse to win off of a little bit of layoff at Belmont in June. And he ran an 87 Beyer that day. Now, that was only against 20 claimers. And he did come back and win 2 starts later at Monmouth Park, but the Monmouth Park race was scheduled for turf. It was only a 4-horse field. This horse was not facing very much that day. He did get it done. He ran another solid Beyer of 86. I felt like this race might be a little tough for him, especially if any one of the 3-year-olds takes any kind of a step forward in here. But Little Commissioner is far from impossible for a very hot trainer. Let's concentrate on the 2 favorites, though, because I do expect these 2 horses to be tough. Americanus and 3 Technique. Now, they're 2 horses who ran in the same race last month at Belmont Park. It's, again, a similar race to this one. Same condition, same distance, one-turn mile. Let's take a look at the replay of that race, because they both run very, very well here. Again, the winner is Money Moves, a nice horse trained by Todd Pletcher. You see Americanus was up there. He contested it with Money Moves around the turn. He's still in the mix down to mid-stretch before he's going to get tired in here. 3 Technique's going to run by him on the outside. Money Moves is going to go on with it. You'll see 3 Technique. Looks like he gets ahead in front there, coming down into deep stretch. He can't ultimately seal the deal. He winds up settling for 2nd, but this was a good performance from 3 Technique, who was going turf to dirt in that race. And it was also a good performance from Americanus, because Americanus was off the layoff in that race. He hadn't run since April 25th. So, he had a good 6 months on the sidelines leading into that race. He did a lot of racing early. He got a little tired late. I think that's just fine. This was his first start for trainer Shug McGahee. And when you start going through Americanus' PPs, save the Grade 3 Nashua, which came in his 2nd career start right off of his maiden win, stretching out to a mile, and in a very fast Nashua, by the way, where he just didn't run well that day. But other than that, this horse has really run well in every one of his career starts, and he keeps taking steps forward. He took another step forward in that race off the layoff last time. Now he's 2nd time back. This horse could easily improve enough to beat this field, and I think he's a very dangerous horse in here. Although I did side with 3 Technique. as my ultimate top pick in the race. You can put the top pick, the picks up there right now, because I do have three technique on top, and I'm just encouraged by the way that this horse returned to dirt last time, because this horse, he was a good 2-year-old three technique. He came back off the layoff this year with 2 races down at Oaklawn Park over the winter. They ran him in 2 3-year-old stakes races. He didn't win either of them, but I thought he ran well. I thought he was a very interesting horse heading into the spring and summer in that 3-year-old crop. Ultimately, it didn't work out for him. He didn't race from March to August. When he came back in August, it was in the Grade 1 H. Allen Jerkins at Saratoga. He did not run well. He made a little bit of a mild wide move in there and then gave it up in the stretch. And I thought it was odd after that Jeremiah Englehart, his trainer, decided to try to make him a turf horse. That didn't work out. I was happy to see him come back to dirt last time, and not only was I happy to see him come back to the surface, I was happy to see him run a really good race. A 93 buyer in that replay we just watched, where he kept in range of the pace. He made a nice run off the turn, and you saw him get ahead in front there. No disgrace, I don't think, anyway, to get turned away by Money Moves. Money Moves is not only a really nice 3-year-old in his own right, but he's a horse who had shown in the past that he doesn't mind a good fight in the stretch. So I have no problem with 3 technique getting turned away there. And I was very encouraged by the race that he ran back on dirt, because I think ultimately this is going to be a dirt horse. I think this is a great distance for him. And I like the step forward that he took last time. So I'm going to take him on top of Americanus. Nothing clever for me. I have the 2 likely favorites, 1, 2 in this race, and I am going to side with 3 technique. I went 7, 3, 6, and 1 in Thursday's DRF race of the day. It's race number 7 at Aqueduct. The approximate post time is 2:45 Eastern time. Good luck.